We ain't judging him for that. Well, we're not judging him a lot for that, I should rephrase. Also, I know that part of this is like a depth of field and the fact that Zelda's hanging out at like at a lower altitude, but this makes her dragon look so much smaller compared to his. Alright, so is it his actual eyes that will be left now? Don't hit me with your tail. Okay. Zelda, I need a ride. There we go. Now, I guess we're going for his actual eyeballs? Oh no! The thing! It's there! I thought we were gonna have to do that, so that's why I tried. So I tried going to the forehead first, because I thought that's what it was gonna be. So I went here first, being like, this is obviously where they're gonna send us. And we did end up there. I just got a little sidetracked to start. We had to deal with back sores. Come on, Link. Final attack. We're doing trust falls with Zelda. Oh, this is pretty epic looking. It feels very dangerous for us to just be, like, falling with the sword in our hands. We could very easily have stabbed ourselves. No. Oh, I like this, like, juxtaposition of having Zelda against him in the background. Once your stone disappears, does that mean that you turn to dust because you've been alive too long? Final outfit change is him turning to dust, disappearing into the nether. This is like a nuclear explosion death. What the heck? Wow, game. Destroy Ganondorf, complete. He did. He real did. Ooh, we about to lose our arm? Everyone's final outfit change. How did Hyrule survive? That's my thing. I'm like, this is just okay. You're gonna give us pants, but not a shirt? We're just floating in the air above Zelda. I think Link should stab him again just to make sure. Are we losing our arm? Oh no, power. I've got power. Oh, Raru and Sonia. Zelda Link, dude. You're not wrong. Okay, so are we sending her on to the great beyond, or are we turning her back into a human form? Because I'm not sure. It could go either way. Oh, we turned her back to a human. I thought for a second they might choose to be like, well, she can't turn back, so we'll help her pass on. And our arm, we have a real arm again. But still no shirt. Oh, they hold hands as they finally pass. Oh, that's cute. Link's just like, why does this keep happening to me? Why does the game keep taking away my shirt? And then they send me back still with no shirt? Raru and Sonia are absolutely couple goals. Oh, well. I feel like we should be moving much faster than this. Also, I like how she's falling perfectly, not tumbling all around. That clap at the end, though. When you're the champion of the entire world, you gotta show off the goods. They took all of our stuff? Like, we don't even have our glider anymore? They took our shirt. They took our things. Still free falling, right? Reach better. Dragon skill holdover. I feel like that would have hurt, though. Hitting the water that hard. Do you know how difficult it is to carry somebody out of water? Like that? Ask me how I know. Seriously, all the broken bones.
Link, how are you?
They're like, you can have pants and the Master Sword and that's it. Right? Doubly so after breaking everything on impact.
We reached you, after all.
I have questions about the fact that it's glowing and making sounds.
He's gone. The Demon King. I'm not in a dream, right?
Did you dream as a dragon? I have to know.
Oh, Link, you really did it. But how am I?
This is an after effect of being a former dragon. There's absolutely a section of the fan base upset.
I had been sleeping all this time.
No, you were awake. You were just a dragon.
When I felt something, like a warm, loving embrace, I woke up.
Can we talk about the fact the castle's still hanging out in the sky? Like, what are we gonna do with this castle now?
Thank you. Link, I met such wonderful people. I saw Hyrule as it was.
Ma'am, it's a video game.
I have so much to tell you. So much happened. Oh, Link. I'm home.
Find Princess Zelda complete. Huzzah. I'm really surprised that nobody was like, well, that happened. And came to find us. Their audio design all through those ending sections, very well done. Music choices on point. Lots of stairs. After how many universes where Link saves Zelda, you think she wouldn't be so surprised when Link pulls a win? Like, and this is a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild. So, like, she's already seen us pull a win. At least in all the other ones, you can say, like, okay, well, she didn't know because that hasn't happened yet. But, like, we've pulled a win. Also, I don't know. I would be much more effusive if I was like, I chose to sacrifice myself and become a dragon. And this is very, very loud. Hold on. And she's just like, yay, I'm home. I would have been like, this is like the running hug, like galomp sort of thing. But that was good. We did it, y'all. High five. I finished this before the end of the year. Somehow get into survive. Honestly, I don't feel like they can do a direct sequel to this one because for no other reason than because of that nonsense like nuclear plume that they did with his death. Yeah, you're right. Nobody in the game remembers Breath of the Wild. They just call me a hero and are like, I don't recognize you without the Master Sword. She had to count on us figuring out that she became a dragon, also figure out that she had the Master Sword, and get all of the secret stones. And, like, there were a lot of layers to this one. She's like, I have to hope that every single one of the things I teed up in some past time, which we never quite defined how long ago it was, would line up for you to do all the right things, Link. Which we did. High five us. My only thing I will say is I appreciate the sentiment of them having it end on Zelda saying I'm home, but I definitely feel like after like having that moment of like Sonia and Rauru and what have you that felt a little like not as strong an ending. Like, we accepted that she was a dragon hours ago. Sorry, I always let the credits roll on games I complete because I know what it takes to make them. And it might sound like a silly little thing, but taking the time to see the names in the various categories and all the groups that contribute to a game, I think is, you know, the least that I can do as somebody who's enjoyed many, many hours of playing through the work they put into this. And I also think it's fun. It's one of the things I actually like seeing how they choose to do their credit scenes. Like, do you get extra little vignettes at the end? Or are they just going to show us, you know, little moments? Like here's a lot of individual moments from throughout the game. Yeah, it's you know, games are not easy to make. They take a lot of time, a lot of heart, a lot of soul. And it's not something I was always the best at doing before, but now when I finish games, I let the credits roll. Um, and 2 shiny presents from the Promised Land. Almost there, Panda. Um, but yeah, this is fun. Yeah, I wasn't sure how long it was going to take me to do all the things, and I was playing last night and got the 5th stage and essentially went to talk to Pura, whose name I'm saying wrong and I know it. Pura is correct, I believe. And she was like, okay, cool, go fight Ganon. And I was like, oh crap, all I have left to do is fight Ganon. So I was like, okay, I could probably stream that so y'all can go through the end with me. So I appreciate y'all keeping me company as we've tried to power through Zelda the last week and a half. Best you can tell. Yeah, so like post Skyward Sword, but obviously pre-Calamity. Because Breath of the Wild, we woke up 100 years after the Calamity. And this is, I don't know if they ever articulated how long Tears of the Kingdom was happening after Breath of the Wild. So the kingdom's already established, Sheikah tribe, the Gerudo, Hyrule was established as which I think canonically were post-Zonai. Yep. The Calamity was 10,000 years ago, so Zelda was a dragon. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, when you sit down and you think about it from the perspective of... though my questions with this is, if Zelda goes back in time, and it's so far back, and then she lives through it as a dragon, doesn't that put us into a time paradox that means Breath of the Wild couldn't have happened because she would have been a dragon during it? Time travel paradox. Zelda existed both as a person and as a dragon. Or is this gonna be I do have the Hyrule Historia and I'm blinking right now. But I wasn't the whole logic that after Ocarina of Time the timeline split. Oh my god, this is the equivalent of the creepy turret song from Portal. That's what this makes me of. But so I think it was after, it's supposed to be after Breath of the Wild that the timeline splits, right? Because there's a version or a scenario where she sends Link back in time to live through his childhood years after Ocarina of Time, and that's the route that takes you to Majora's Mask. And then wasn't there like an alt one that I forget which timeline it follows that he stays as an adult? See, epic music. I really wish that Nintendo would sell each of the soundtracks as vinyls. And I would also love to have the 25th anniversary album as a vinyl as well. Let's see. Time paradox, but only for a tiny percentage of time was she a dragon. Okay, but she was a dragon. She hadn't traveled back to become a dragon yet, but sorry, any dragons that traveled back. Okay. Dragonzilla lived above the cloud barrier from Sky for... Oh, that would be interesting. I mean, if we think about it from the perspective of this game, we didn't see her at all. Like, she was nowhere in the skies until after you saw the teardrop that gave you that background of her making that choice, or her considering that choice. I forget. So like she doesn't even appear until relatively far into the game, depending on how quickly you get the glyphs. And then you don't even know, like, it doesn't even show up as her having the mastered sword until you go solve the great Deku Tree's stomach problems. It was a choice to end on this particular music as they have the copyright showing up on screen. She actually, during the tutorial, I don't remember that. That's too far back apparently. The end. We don't get an after credits scene. Not that I actually expect that. Um, Welp. Time travel, fun and paper headache to keep track of, basically. How did everybody get up
Such an
here?
impressive landmass can float in the sky. Just when I thought I'd started to figure the Zonai out.
Well, our castle floats now, so.
Everyone, I am glad I was able to bring you all here. I wanted to share this view of Hyrule with all of you.
Whoa! I've never been this far up before, Goro.
Wow, what a sight it is. And Zelda, you were roaming the skies all along?
Yes, although I don't really remember. I never thought I would actually stand here again.
This is only a theory, but Raru's power of light and Sonia's time power. For Zelda to transform back, they both must have channeled their abilities through you.
She doesn't remember. She was sleeping the whole time, remember?
I see.
I appreciate that they offer an explanation for that. Or a possible theory. Is it time for Minoru to tell us goodbye? The last of the Zonai goes on.
Now it seems it is my time.
Oh.
Minoru!
Do not worry. You have overcome the burden my era left to you. You have proven yourself, and you no longer need me. I know I can move on, join Raru and the others, and the world will be safe.
Oh, giving them space.
Those of us gathered here swear on our lives to support Princess Zelda and... Oh.
Riju being the brain cell.
To support Princess Zelda and safeguard the land of Hyrule.
Do they get to keep their secret stones? That's my question. I'd be mad if I was a dragon and couldn't remember.
Raru and Sonia will be happy to hear of this.
Oh!
But Minoru!
They answered my sort of question.
And I'll let them know just how much you care.
She didn't cry when she came home from not being a dragon anymore, but she cries now? Was Pyrrha in the background the whole time? While they were making their pledge?
Thank you all.
Okay, but how are they all gonna get down now? Oh, the construct fell apart too. That her spirit was attached to as the fifth sage. I mean, Link can fly, he got a glider.
Queen Sonia, Minoru, the ancient sages. They wished not only to save Hyrule from the Demon King, but for it to see eternal peace. I will dedicate myself to that goal. Now, and for all time.
Blackjack and Springleaf. Same page.
My friends, with all of your strength, stand with me.
Did we not already promise this? Dun, 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 dun. The classic musical motif. See, this was the end scene I wanted. Also, their castle is still floating. What are they going to do about that? um, that's kind of how I thought they were going to close the whole game. So it's not surprising, but also interesting that they chose to wrap that at the end of the credits instead of earlier on. And I can continue and go play or do more side quests. I'm assuming Hyrule has engineers. I guess theoretically they could. The other thing, which they sort of implied but didn't exactly speak to, that was the question I had until it came up with Minoru, is in the lore of the game, Minoru and Rauru as Zonai, like the way that they described them is that they had come down from the heavens, and so they were kind of like perceived as something like gods. So I was wondering that like when they kind of like using Minoru as the example, like kind of move on, if that means like, hey, you're just like you're dead, like your spirit's gone, or if they are kind of returning to that, whatever higher being state that they were before they chose to come to the I say material plane because they don't really describe where they come, except for that they just kind of came down from the heavens and were considered like gods. The only thing that's interesting to me from this is Sonia is a Hyrulean, not a Zonai, and apparently moved on as well. So I don't know if that's like nature of time power, of being married, what have you. But an interesting thought. So that was the ending. That was the end scene I was looking for. Was that kind of cinematic, look at the world that we saved, we're all here moment that they just gave us. So I really appreciate that. And I also think it was fun to kind of uh, end on that moment of, Link catching Zelda and Zelda being back and realizing, like, hey, I'm home, I'm not a dragon anymore. Take you through the credits that are giving you these moments that happened throughout the story that you've played through, and then wrap on this final goodbye with Minoru and how that kind of lays the foundation for hopefully the eternal peace that they're looking for moving forward. So, again, another great Legend of Zelda game that I quite enjoyed playing through, despite some of my frustrations. Yeah, maybe Saints. They don't really, like, they just kind of were like, they appeared, they came down from the heavens as understood by the people of Hyrule and, had these powers and were deemed to be godlike. So, all right, y'all. So I'm going to switch us over to stream is ending. I did not realize that ads were just running. I don't often get the pop-up warning me that you have like 5 minutes before they run, which is very unfortunate. I need to figure that out. Um, but that was great, y'all. And final counts, according to the Switch, is over 110 hours played. So, like, don't judge me, but feel fine to judge me. But we finished it! Yay! We finished Tears of the Kingdom before the new year. Huzzah! So let's take a quick look. Ooh, Prax is on. Let's go raid Prax. Um, so we are gonna go do a raid over to Prax. So once again, everyone, thank you so much for Prax is doing book talk, which will be fun. For keeping me company here through the nonsense of trying to finish this game before end of year. Um, but I promise to give all the head pats to Susie. So if I do not see you all again in chat or elsewhere before Monday, which I do currently plan to stream on as usual, please, please, please have a fabulous end of your year and a great start to 2024. Wishing you all of the best. So please be healthy, be safe, be healthy, happy crafting, happy gaming, be extra safe and make good choices for um the new year and all of that. Thank you all so much for hanging out, and we're gonna go on over and join Prax. So take care, all.